I met this girl in high school, Day. We didn't have much in common, just friends, but I cared about her, and we shared a sense of humor. My friend group stayed in touch as we started our adult lives, but hanging out proved difficult as we all had different schedules and just went through a pandemic. But me and Day texted almost every night before bed, so we often figured out a place and time to hang out. It was like our humor came from the same star, and we each got a half. When we hung out, that star was whole, and it shined. She became my best friend that year. We hung out once a month, alone or with our friends. On New Year's Eve, we hung out at 8 p.m. It got late. It was now 11 p.m. and we had to get home. She called an Uber and I waited with her. She was cold, so I hugged her until her Uber was close enough. She looked beautiful. She was my best friend, but when I held her while we talked and laughed, I couldn't help but wish I got to hold her more. Maybe even hold her hand. But I just waited for her Uber and we went home. Only a month later, she said something that hurt my feelings in front of her friends. That night, before driving her home, I confronted her. She apologized profusely. I could tell she was genuinely upset. She felt bad. We were so gentle with each other. I held her hands and told her, "It's okay. You didn't mean to hurt me." She said, "Okay." For months, every time she looked into my eyes, and every time she smiled or laughed, I yearned to tell her how I felt. I asked, "Are you okay?" She did all three, and she said yes. I didn't want to wonder for any second longer what it would be like. Only Day could have ever stopped me. I just needed to know, so I asked, "Can I kiss you?" She said, "Of course you can." Love is a beautiful thing. They taught me that even if things don't end up working out, it's worth it. When I held her hand, or when I kissed her, for a moment, I was the universe. That's a gift I'll always be grateful for. But even today, that gift is taken from many. Religious and political beliefs take the right to love away from many people, robbing them from life. This book hurt to connect into the real world. Alire and Dante are a perfect story. It's beautiful, whereas gay love is so much darker in the real world for many. From elders who lived most of their lives in the closet, to kids who never got to see who they could have been on their own in this world, simply because people around them deemed their love immoral. It's unfair, but there are many ways to fight this. And something hit me while reading this novel. I already cared, but as I read this story, I carried that care in the forefront of my brain. We know how to erase history. We stop talking about it, and we ban books. We censor TV. We make it illegal for children to talk about it in school. Target and Bud Light haven't been as vocal about their support for their community because of conservative backlash. It's starting to work. We are taking steps back in society. There are kids' lives and free thinking at stake at the moment, because adults who don't like change are blinded by their outdated, uneducated ideas of the past. I think it's our best bet to put these stories in the forefront of our mind as much as possible, so that we never forget how much we care. Many never got to tell their story, and many never will, but that's not always the case. So I'd like to make that my focus, as someone who is able to tell their story without fear. I'd like to encourage these other stories that are labeled immoral and banished, and to listen when they are told. I asked my friends for their stories, and I was delighted to be told. I'd like to share one today.
In my freshman year of high school, I met a girl in my math class. I had seen her before in my middle school, but we had never spoken to each other. Turns out she knew my best friend, and we all decided to sit next to each other. After just one class together, I found out that she was into the same boy band I was. We were the epitome of teenage fangirls. We had their posters on our wall. We would always listen to their music together and dance their choreography and decode their music videos, trying to find the hidden meanings. Not everyone understood our love for this band, and we were bullied for it on more than one occasion. Other people couldn't understand how we could be so into this band that speaks another language that we didn't know. But I don't think you need to speak the same language as someone to understand the emotions they are trying to convey through their words, to really feel the music. But that wasn't the only thing I felt. Between laughter, hugs, lunches together, and genuinely enjoying each other's company, a love formed between us. Not just the love found between two of the closest friends, but a love found between romantic partners. We complimented each other, we flirted, we even cried in each other's arms. One day at school, during lunch, I held a ring pop in my hand and jokingly got on one knee. I said, "Sarah Bell, will you do me the honor of being my girlfriend?" And when she said yes, she did the same cute, excited little dance she had done when a band member had done something incredible we simply just didn't have the words for. And this time it was all for me. There were a lot of things I loved about her, like the way she would shyly hide her face when she was embarrassed or getting her picture taken, her cute little nose she sadly hated, or the way she would hold me, and many things we had in common that went much further than skin deep and much further than the band we loved. I had been out as a proud pansexual since I was 12. She was just then coming out to our peers, but was worried about stepping out the closet with her family. Eventually she did, and they were very supportive of her relationship with me. What me and her had, it didn't last, but I'll cherish those memories forever.